Okay. Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing, brother? What is it? I can't see that. What is that?
It's the new Topps royalty that was just released. Well, it actually comes out on Friday, but we might have to do a sneak peek break right here.
I dig it. That's a good idea.
Instead of Rip It Friday, we'll go Rip It Wednesday, Media Edition.
I like it. We'll get into that. All right, let's talk about the fight first, right? I mean, getting back to work, main event. Just give me the feel right now, the emotions. After a long time away, to be back and to being a headliner.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. I'm the last time you guys saw me out here was December of 23. Man, it seems like forever, but at the same time, it went by so quick, and I can't be more excited to get back in there and show the world who I am. I'm stoked for Saturday night.
And it was kind of just a self-imposed hiatus, right? I mean, you could have fought, but you just said, I'm not going to for a while.
No, I could have fought, but it's I feel like I owe it to myself, my coaches, my wife, my family, fans, the UFC. The last handful of years, I've not been fighting at my best. I've been fighting at a fraction of myself, and now so I had to work on myself, get back to 100%, and I'm fighting and training the way I used to. So you guys are going to see something special Saturday night.
I love it. Was it challenging for you at all during that time to say, you know what, like we're 6 months in, we're good, let's go, let book a fight, let's get something done. Was it challenging at all to stick to it and say, no, let's take our time, let's heal up, and let's do this right?
No, it wasn't really challenging just because all I did was focus on physical therapy, strength and conditioning. I went down to Cellular Performance Institute, CPI, 3 times last year. I work with some of the best therapists. I have my dietitians, the best in the game. And it's been a team effort. My coaches, friends, family, everybody. That's why I call Team Emmett the best team around. And, I'm going to go out there and put on hell of a show on Saturday and look to get another highlight reel finish.
That's awesome. And last kind of thing on the left, like when did you know it was time? Like were there like physical markers or mental thoughts? Like when did you know, okay, yep, we're good. Now it's time to get back in there?
Yeah, no mental markers ever with me. It's just, I know it's 100% and I know it's 30%. I feel like I've been fighting the last few years with the best guys in the world. And yeah, there's fights I definitely want back, but the first thing is I got to get through Lerone Murphy. And the good thing is, the title fight, the vacant title fight is the following weekend. So I will be in the conversation and the talks. But first and foremost, I have to go out there and beat a tough, talented Murphy.
All right, you talk about it, tough and talented. Just break him down and what you see. I mean, obviously you fought the very best in the world. Does he belong in the discussion of those guys? What do you think he brings to the table?
Yeah, like I'll tell you when I talk to you guys Saturday what I think his skill set is. But he's good. He comes from a great camp. He's very technical. He's a I'd say more so of a kickboxer, but I know he's been working on his weaknesses, hence be his grappling and his wrestling over the years. I've seen a lot of improvement in his later fights. I know he says he's still learning on the job. There's no learning on the job when you're in there with me. We'll see. But yeah, he's good. But he's never fought anybody like me. I know he thinks he's fought someone similar to me, but no one that he's fought is even close to me. And he's going to be in for a rude awakening on Saturday night.
I mean, you're not much of a trash talker, but that was a pretty savage line there. There's no learning on the job with me. I like that.
I like it.
Look, like you said, the title fight's next week. I mean, do you feel like, hey, I got to do something spectacular? I mean, we know you're capable of spectacular. So do you feel like I got to deliver something like that so that I am in that discussion because, there are other names and you have been away for a year? Or is it more just like, let me just go get a win of any kind and my resume speaks for itself?
Yeah, at the end of the day, I just have to go out there and win. Like, I've never been in a boring fight. I know what the UFC wants to see. I know what the fans want to see. They're excited when I'm on a card because every strike I throw, I'm trying to finish the fight. And I don't feel like I have to go out there and make a statement, but I'm going to. And the goal is to be a world champion. That's always been my goal. Murphy wasn't the original opponent I wanted because he's behind me. It's a high risk for really no reward. But at the end of the day, I've never turned down a fight. I've always fought these fights. I fought the best in the world. So I should be able to go out there, handle business, and then we'll see what's next.
How are the discussions with Slava Claus around the gym? His beard's getting pretty strong. I mean, is this a competition we got going on, or who's rocking the best one?
I know we're going to have to bring him up here. Everyone's talking about we're, twins and stuff. It's like he's just a little taller than me, but it's no, he phenomenal person, phenomenal training partner, and Slava's a world champion kickboxer. He's been helping me for all these years, but we've really been getting at it for this camp in particularly, and I know Slava's a better kickboxer, and he fights at 55s, and it's been a great training partner, and my coaches and team and everyone has me dialed in, and it's been a great camp. I can't believe it's Wednesday. I'll be on weight in less than 48 hours, and it doesn't even feel like fight week.
Dig it, man. Last thing for me, obviously, I guess we're going to get to the cards here in a little bit. What we got to do to get a beer sample as well, the lights out beers? Is you bringing that as well?
Yeah, so we just released the Josh Emmett's Lights Out. It's a lager, hence the lights out, The other one was a One Punch IPA. But this is still, it's a very, it's a great beer. I partnered with Knee Deep Brewery. They're known for their craft beers. They're all around the world. And it's at a handful of restaurants and bars right now, and then it'll hit retail here soon. Whole Foods, Bevmo, Costco, and so on.
Did you get to play any part with the marketing for the beers? Did you get, like, in terms of, like, what the can or anything is going to look like?
And originally, when I dropped the last one, it was Josh Emmett's One Punch IPA. I did a play off of Mike Tyson's Punch Out. So that's why it's all pixelated, and then I'm punching their mascot. It's the green hop guy. You might have seen him in like Breaking Bud is their really popular IPA.
That's awesome.
And it's but yeah, so they gave me Andrew is he's one of the owners. Yeah, phenomenal people, and I got to taste everything and create my own beer that I wanted to do. They let me have full go with like the like the label and everything. So I just gave them the ideas, and they had their media person kind of draft it up, but it was a fun experience. I went out there and actually, put all the hops, and I didn't do too much. I didn't step on the beer master's toes too much, but I got to actually brew the beer and create it and can it, and yeah, it's been nothing but a fun experience.
That's incredible. And I know you said this wasn't the fight initially that you want. I mean, was there a particular name up ahead of you that you were looking for, that you were hoping to try to get back in there with?
Anyone that has the title, that's who I want to fight for, but I know that's not how that works. But, I wanted someone in front of me, so I want to fight like the best in the world, someone in the top 3, if not the number 1 contender, so I can get a next shot at the title. But at the end of the day, I know what I'm capable of. I just have to go out there, and I'll fight anybody.
Yeah. And I know you said you want to try to get some fights back at some point. Are there any of the particular 2 recent, I'm looking at Ilya and I'm blanking on the other one, but the other, Yair. I mean, is there one of those 2 that when you say you want to start getting some of those back, is it both of those you're hoping to get back at some point?
The main thing was, Ilya was a champion. It's like, I didn't fight a great fight at all in that fight, you know what I mean? So that's mainly the fight that I've been doing everything in my power to get back, but, he's not there anymore, so we'll see. I just got to – I'm solely focused on Murphy right now. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to do what I do best, and then we'll see what's next.
Are you a guy that pays attention to the odds? Why do you think the odds makers put him as the favorite in this, with you being a higher rank than he is?
I don't know, just Vegas. They like to make money, so it's I love it. It's like my friends, the people that are betting, they love it when I'm a huge underdog. What, plus 275? Bet the house.
It went a little bit down. It's plus 260 now.
So watch, the line's going to change here in a little. Tomorrow will be, who knows.
Best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Do you have any beard tips for people that are looking to grow something like that?
Damn, I can't grow anything on my head, so that's all I got, That's all I got. Maybe if you could bleach your hair until you go bald, maybe you'll grow a good beard.
Fair. So you were saying that you were 30%. Are you saying that you were 30% in that Bryce Mitchell fight?
I feel like I've not been at my best in every fight. I was getting worse.
Interesting.
I'll tell you now, though, over the course of the last 14 months, we've been working on my power and everything, and I can promise you I'm so much more powerful than I was. So wait till that right hand connects.
How is that even possible?
Oh, you'll see.
Is this the most you've ever been tagged in your entire life of people tagging your knockout of Bryce Mitchell over the past 2 months?
No, it's kind of like, it was crazy how it went, kind of viral, like on other platforms, but not so much on the UFC. They didn't really show that on their socials. But then I don't know. And then obviously some of the stuff he said before, then it kind of reignited it. But it is what it is. Like, I treat people the way they treat me, and like Bryce, every interaction I've had with him, he's been nothing but respectful for me, or respectful to me. So, like, to me, like, I treat him the way he treats me, and I think sometimes he just, he has a huge platform, and he just maybe has to just be a little careful what he says.
And I realize, like, you've already kind of explained that you needed some time off, but, like, in the back of your head, coming off one of the knockouts of the year, did you want to kind of, like, leapfrog off that and be like, I'm back, look at this knockout, like continue this role?
Yeah, of course. Like, but I couldn't. It's like, I think most fighters, I don't think there's one fighter on the entire roster that would fight that I did for 2.5 years. They wouldn't fight once what I was dealing with.
Interesting.
I promise you that.
What's your thoughts on the UFC 314 main event? Who do you got winning that fight?
I don't know. They're both. I'm excited to watch it. Both super talented fighters. I feel like just Volkanovski, just being who he is and such a dominant champion, like, I'm leaning towards him. Like, I think Volkanovski gets that job done. But I don't know. Like, the way that Diego wins, obviously he's good everywhere. He's hungry. If he wins, I think he catches him early. But the longer the fight goes, I think it's heavily favored towards Volkanovski.
You also got Patricio Pitbull versus Yair Rodriguez. Do you have any interest in that fight? And do you think Pitbull's going to kind of show out?
I'm not too sure. Like, I know Pitbull. He's really good. He was a 2-division champion in Bellator. But I don't know. It's stylistically, it's we'll see real quick in the first round. It's like, I can argue how both guys win and get the job done, but it's who shows up, who wants it more. But I think we'll figure that out very quick within the first, like, few minutes of the fight.
And finally, for me, are you stoked that the team leader Uriah Faber is coming back to fight again?
Yeah. It's a lot of guys. They're coming back, and yeah. I mean, I want to go down there and watch that fight. I'm curious to see how that organization kind of pans out and plays out. But yeah, it seems like a lot of veterans for sure are fighting each other, and people that were in this organization. So yeah, the more power to them, because they're making I know some of the pay that these guys are making, and it's ridiculous. I wish I could go hop over and do one fight, then I'll come back.
Yeah, is it pretty wild to see those numbers?
Oh, insane.
Do you think they last more than 2 events?
Who knows? We'll find out.
Awesome. Thanks, Josh.
Uh-huh.
How you doing, sir?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, man. Back in Las Vegas, another main event for you, man. I mean, does it still feel like special and new, or is this just kind of like, hey, this is the job and this is where I'm at in my career right now?
That's it. It's just a job. I don't feel the first time I come to Vegas and fought in Vegas, obviously it was different, but I feel like the last fight now I'm comfortable with the Vegas trip and obviously competing here.
I love it. When they gave you this offer, was there any part of you that was like, isn't London like 2 weeks earlier? Maybe we could do that instead?
Yeah and no. I think there's pros and cons, right? Obviously, the travel for me is a con, but the pro is I'm fighting Josh Emmett. I get to fight Josh Emmett, 5-round main event in Las Vegas. So for me, it's a blessing either way. So I'm happy.
I love it. You talk about Josh Emmett. Obviously, you have some respect for him. I mean, it's been a while since he's competed. You've gone through layoffs before as well. He's still a dangerous opponent. I mean, what do you think overall of kind of the challenges that he presents for you?
Listen, it's a massive challenge. Biggest challenge of my career so far, but I'm ready for that, and I've trained hard for this, so the outcome will be the outcome, and that's it. Simple as that. I didn't ask for this fight for no reason. I asked for the fight because I know Josh Emmett's a warrior. I know how good he is, and I know that'll bring the best out of me.
Very nice. First fight on your new contract. I know when you announced it, man, it seemed, I don't know, like a special moment. I mean, were there discussions around it, or was it simply the figures that were on that contract? It seemed like it was like a milestone for you, even though you've been around for a while.
For me, the contract's a contract. I'm here to fight in it, but I got a 6-fight contract, which is good, and just the wording in the contract for me is like the UFC are behind me, and that's what I see, and I believe I'm going to go on to do big things.
I think I liked the announcement because you were like, the road to the title starts now. So, I mean, obviously you've always been building to that, right? You have this amazing record, all you've accomplished. But does it feel like this signifies like a very important milestone or part in that journey?
This fight, particularly the contract.
The fight itself.
Oh, yeah.
And just this moment in your career.
Yeah, for sure. I'm fighting number 8 in the world. Josh Emmett's been around. Ilia Topuria went on to fight for the title after Josh Emmett. So for me, this is the number 1 contender fight. I feel like behind Lopez and Volkanovski were fighting the week after. I think this is the best fight in the division. For me, this is the number 1 contender fight. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man.
It's interesting because I feel like maybe it's because you've been fighting overseas or whatever it is, but like I don't feel like your name always gets mentioned, right? As much as perhaps it should, given your record and your accomplishments. Have you like taken issue with that? I mean, does it bother you sometimes that maybe you're not in those conversations?
It is what it is at the end of the day. Like I said, I'm here to fight. I'm here to feed my family, and I'm here for that title. I don't really care about anything else. But yeah, it's probably because I'm quiet in it and I'm reserved in it, and that's the only thing I can put that to. Because if anybody else, especially in the UK, any of the UK fighters had the record I had and beat who I've beat, then you already know. So yeah, it's what it is, though.
Do you ever have those discussions like, man, maybe I gotta start talking some shit, or I gotta stir some things up?
I'm always gonna be me. That's it. I'm never gonna be fake. I could be fake and be an actor, but I'm always gonna stick to what feels good for me in it. So I'm just gonna let my fighting do the talking, and keep stacking up them wins. And surely after a bit, everyone will get behind me.
Does it feel like maybe this is that moment, I mean, where people will start to talk? Because like you said, I mean, this is number 8 in the world, main event, Vegas. Do you feel like, a win here, maybe people start having those discussions about where you fit in?
Who knows? Because I believe the Barboza fight was a solid performance as well. And I went on to beat Danige. But yeah, beating Josh Emmett, you're undeniable in it.
Last thing for me, I'm sure you played this thing out, but what do you? I mean, we know what an explosive guy is. We saw what he did last time out. What do you expect in this? Is this going to be a firefight? Do you have to be tactical, game plan? What kind of fight do you expect this to be?
I'm expecting the best Josh Emmett, like I said before, and I'll be ready for anything he brings. So I don't know how the fight's going to go. I don't know what type of style he's going to bring, but I believe I'm prepared everywhere.
A lot of times you look at your recent fights, you're getting a lot of wins over tough guys, but you're getting a lot of decisions. Do you think it's maybe those signature finishes that maybe is that final piece that would maybe put your name on top of people? Because early on in your career, you were getting those, and there's nothing wrong with a decision win. A win's a win. But do you think that might be one of those pieces? And is that something that you take into your head when you go in a fight, like you're aiming for it? Or is it you don't even think about that because that could set you up for something that maybe you don't want to, take because you're looking for it too hard?
Yeah, exactly. I know that people want to see finishes. I know that, and I'm always aiming for the finish. I never come into a fight thinking, I'm just going to fight a boring fight and get a decision. I never do that. I'm always trying to finish the fight, but you've got to look at the guys that I've been in there with. You get what I'm saying? The hard to finish guys. Danige's never been finished. So I believe if I was fighting lower caliber guys, I'll be finishing them all day. Like that's just how it goes. But I'm in there with the best of the best, so we go in there, we fight, and what will come will come.
And Josh, we know he's got great power in his hands. Is it too simple to think like I just need to stay away from those power shots and the fight's going to go in your way, or does he have other dangerous avenues that you need to be aware of when you go in there?
Nah, you see Josh get decisions over good guys as well. He's got good output, he's got heart, and he can wrestle as well. So, yeah, for me, it's not as simple as just as he wouldn't be at the top for this long if he only just had power. Do you get what I'm saying? So, there's a lot I've got to watch out for and just implement my game.
And obviously you want that win to kind of continuing forward. But when you go into this fight, knowing this, you're headlining the event, is a win enough, or do you want to make sure that, you're putting on performance that fans are going to remember, or is it just a matter of just keeping that path going forward?
Just a win is never enough. I believe this is a performance-based company, so obviously I want a title shot in it. So I believe a solid performance is needed, and that's what I intend to do.
And I guess with that, what are your keys to the victory? What needs to happen to make sure that you get your arm raised on Saturday?
Keys to victory are pretty obvious. Be defensively sound, and just fight the fight at my pace.
Do you think does when you see a guy like that's heavy with the power, does that usually translate all 5 rounds, or is that something that you just need to kind of worry for, like maybe the first 3 rounds? Does he seem like the kind of opponent that if you go deep, that that it's going to be in your favor? Or do you think he's still going to be dangerous as if it goes into the 4th and 5th rounds?
Nah, Josh Emmett was dangerous for 5 rounds in my eyes. I watched the Topuria fight. Obviously, he went 5 rounds with Topuria, and he was still dangerous. He's still there, and his cardio still held up. So usually power punches get tired after throwing heat, especially in the first few rounds. But he's there. But I'll be switched on for 5 rounds if needs be.
Best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you. All done. Thank you.